far too long. I was so anxious to get to the last case, and I got to the last case, and I barely played. But I'm doing it now because now is the perfect time. Dun 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 dun. Okay. Boy. Trials and tribulations. Where are we now? What happened? What's happened up to this point? Oh, looks like we're going to trial. Yay, trial day. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm not really sure what to say. Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are two things which I need to ask you before we reconvene. Alright, I'll help you in any way I can. First, about that night, you really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying. Mr. Edgeworth, it's just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room, in Hazakura Temple. Very well. The second thing, then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the time the Sister Bikini returned to the main hall, in which she would bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile? There's only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me. So it was you! But why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge? I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, my shit! Oh! Iris! I can't tell you about that yet. Yet? Not until her safety is confirmed. Her? The safety of the Acolyte. The Acolyte? Huh. She must be talking about Maya. Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Donham? No matter who or what may come, I could never take a life. As I thought. No psychologs. He's still calling on the wrong thing. Very well. It is my job to get to the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough. I don't remember what he says. Could we now reconvene? Oh, Smick. Miss Von Karma, where's the witness? During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. Suspicious behavior? He was sketching something very intensely. Oh, dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained? He drew a terrifying woman armed with a demonic face and a vicious whip. I can only presume that his intention was to capture you. Oh! Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. Lores Donham, I hope you're ready. Get in here! It would seem that whip is going to see plenty more use today. Oh, Larry. Oh, Larry. Ouch! Your sketch is in contempt of this court. Hey! I was just artistically... Ow! You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct? Look, I'm nothing but a fledgling artist, training out in the mountains. I'm only down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use the technical term for the color, viridian. Larry, this isn't an art store, now is it? I know! I graduated junior high, okay? Look, art is all about working in the fields, isn't it? Working in the fields? I presume he wanted to say field work. I hope. That's it! Thanks, buddy. It's kind of sad that I was able to understand this mangled train wreck of a sentence. I just happened to stop by here and found a wonderful new model. So see, I've got nothing to do with this trial at all. I expected all your faces to be red by the time you realized this mistake. Bright red. Or to use a technical term, Crimson Lake. Ow! 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 Ouch! Ouch! Stop your pathetic babbling and testify like a man! Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking. Witness, that was all your... Fucking hockey. That was all your fault. Testify now! Oh, this is too much for me! I was at that lodge out in the mountains, looking up at the stars at night. I walked by the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see this snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge at night either. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now. Aren't I edgy? Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony. I'm just a nobody, nothing but a small, worthless man, aren't I? And why wasn't I asked for my name and occupation or anything else? Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he has been to other people. Yeah, that's right. I'm behind everything, every case. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy. Smick! Well, then let us proceed with the cross-examination. With no touching, thank you. We can delve into other details at a later time. Sorry, my Canadian's not good at all, either, but whatever. That's not what you're here for. I was at the lodge out in the mountains, looking up the stars at night. What was the matter, Miss Edgeworth? This one single statement is so full of contradictions. For a moment there, I thought I was going to collapse. So, witness, any idea as to where these contradictions in your testimony lie? Depending on your answer, I may stay my whip. Okay, give me a minute. Well, it was snowing that night, so I couldn't have possibly seen the stars. That rundown shack is hardly a lodge, is it? And even if the stars could be seen, it isn't like I was there to look for them, right? See, you can do it if you try. Ow! There's only one issue here. What you saw at Dusky Bridge. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but... A number of times? How many? Maybe 5 times? I went once every 20 minutes. Which means... You spent almost 2 hours at Heavenly Hall that night. You bet! Real love is about waiting with your heart in your hands. Love, you say? It was its main intention to summon the defendant to the small shack. Using this blackmail letter. Blackmail? No! That was simply a product of overflowing love. Ouch! You huffy, puffy, loosey-goosey excuse for a whimpering, whining wuss of a witness. So, what did you see? I hope for your sake you saw a snowmobile. You huffy, puffy, loosey-goosey excuse for a whimpering, whining wuss of a witness, eh? Well, you see... Being called those names doesn't seem to bother him at all. I didn't see a snowmobile. Larry, you really didn't see it. Hey, no need to hit your desk. I can hear you. I didn't see it. I didn't see a snowmobile. Larry, say snowmobile for me, please. Snowmobile? If you truly have nothing to hide, then why are you stammering like you just flew over a cuckoo's nest? Shut up! Well, what is this? I don't know. Don't ask me. Seems that I'll need to start from a more obvious contradiction. going to strike the blow that would finally get him to spill the beans. I didn't see anyone on the bridge that night either. You didn't meet anyone. That's right, because I've got nothing to do with this. I'm just here to buy some Viridian paint, okay? Come on, I expected to see those Crimson Lake faces now. It would appear that simply pressing him isn't going to be enough, Mr. Edgeworth. Indeed. It seems like he's going to claim to have nothing to do with this to the end. I don't want this guy to cost us any more time. I need to slice through his obvious contradictions and keep things moving along. I'm sorry, obvious. I don't know if it actually wants me to bust him on that first one, considering that he admitted to everything already. So I don't know if he wanted that, but let me see. There's a lot of, this case is very long and there's multiple parts to the multiple trial days we're gonna deal with throughout all this time. This was didn't he see Phoenix? He thought, yeah, Phoenix on that night. Yeah, Phoenix on that night. Larry Butts, I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic, and you cause all sorts of trouble. I'm sorry? It's just how much of a nuisance you've been. That could be considered a step in the right direction. Edgy! Are you trying to console me? It certainly doesn't sound that way to me. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incident you create. Whoa! You're totally pinning this on me! Now then, let us talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asks Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus, he headed for the public phone by the bridge. There, he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts. Oh, that's right. Me in the flesh. Listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. As long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. That reality will not change. But what do you want me to do then? Larry, what you need to change is your inner self. But for now, what you saw that night, testifying truthfully about this one issue is all I need from you. Edgy, I think I've finally woken up. Well, I guess I can still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. Smick! Well, let's begin then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder? What I saw, part 2. Well, I went to the shack at around 9, so it would have been around 10:30 p.m. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. I looked out the window, and Dusky Bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, and I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick. You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you? So, what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire? It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. It totally burnt out, like almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains was what caused Nick to fall. What did you say? She didn't know. Oh, don't worry. It's nothing life-threatening. He just caught a cold. I never know with that man if he should be called lucky or unlucky. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination. I went to the shack at around 9, so it would have been about 10:30 p.m. What did you do out there in the cold for an hour and a half? Well, if you really must know, I was busy being excited, I guess. Excited? Dare I even ask? I said the meeting time was 10, right? so I couldn't wait, and I thought she might come early too. Well, it appears she didn't come at all in the end. Because they never arranged to meet in the first place, did they? Shut up! Don't go picking my fond memories apart! Anyway, I was getting a little worried. I thought maybe Iris had lost her way, and so every 20 minutes or so I went out to the bridge. But I didn't see anything particularly suspicious. I didn't have anything else to do, so I went back to the shack to wait for her. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me.
Hold it!
This light was, of course, lightning. Like, kapow! Like a slap from Naomi, honestly. Big bada boom. Whoa! Or a little like that. It's more like a punch from Miranda. Winnie, did you actually see the lightning hit the bridge? Well, I was a bit startled by the flash of light, so... I looked out the window, and Dusky Bridge was on fire! Seeing that, what did you do? What do you think? I was burning up as well, from the fire in my heart! And that's why you went to take a look at the bridge? Well, to be honest, it was freezing cold, so at that first I thought, forget it, I'm not leaving my covers. But it had pretty much stopped snowing, so, I don't know, I changed my mind. I'm not sure I care for the forget-it attitude you had at first, witness. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. You said right away, but exactly how long after the strike was that? The lightning fell, and the bridge caught fire, and maybe around 5 minutes? I mean, I suddenly thought, gotta go check this out. How far is the small shack you were in from the bridge? Oh, hold on. It pretty much stopped snowing. I guess about a 5-minute walk? And how did Dusky Bridge look when you got there? Like I had recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids make during school camping trips can compare. Well, should I press them for a little more info? Why didn't you call anyone? Larry, let me ask you one thing. What is it, Edgy? What's with the serious face? Why didn't you call anyone? Huh? What do you mean? Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try to tell someone. There's a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct? Well, of course I thought of doing that. Smick! Oh, so then, let's hear why you didn't. Huh? Oh, yeah, okay. Reason. My reason, it isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone, I just didn't have time to, okay? I rode to the bridge and Nick showed up less than a minute later.
Hold it!
You claim to have arrived at the bridge at the same time as Wright. Yeah! I thought I'd better tell someone about this, but then Nick came up yelling about murder. It totally made me forget about the bridge. The fire was pretty much out by then anyway. What's this feeling? I suddenly have a terrible case of unease. It was after contacting the police that Phoenix Wright fell for the bridge, correct? Yeah, that's pretty much it. More or less. He told me about the burning bridge yesterday, but there's still something that doesn't quite fit. It looks like, despite his change of heart, Larry still isn't telling us the whole truth. So... if... for this one... would be the... it still would have been.
Objection!
It still would have been. King Pope! Hello, my friend! How are you doing? I've been seeing that you've been streaming and stuff like that, so how are you? Tell me, what are you up to? Long time no speak. Your very existence being a contradiction, I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not. What the hey, Edgy? He made me sound like some kind of alien. But your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time. I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with him? Terrible at those. It has been a while. How you been? Have you been getting lots of subs? Are you famous yet? This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusky Bridge, and immediately went to see what happened. Is that correct? Yeah, well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, but yeah, more or less. I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. You say it takes less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusky Bridge, meaning you probably got there at around 11 p.m. Well, that sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and did his falling act. That is impossible. What do you mean? 11 p.m. is when the murder took place at Hazakura Temple. Thus, Wright was still there in the courtyard. There is no way that Larry could have encountered him at Dusky Bridge at that time. Oh, well, excuse me. I have an objection. You do? Edgy, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry, I'm Larry Stoneham. Ow! It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. The sister only said around 11. In which case, it could have been earlier than that. Watch your footing there, Miss Francisca von Karma. The slope ahead is slippery. For there is still no way that Wright could have been at Dusky Bridge at 11 p.m. And why not? It is clearly written here in the weather data report. It took around 13 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until about 11:15 p.m. Ooh, which means what exactly? Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by flames that night. He did not arrive on the scene until after the flames had died down. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11 p.m., but Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15. I suggest you stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. Now then, what happened during these missing 15 minutes? I feel like I just got brutally woken up by toilet splashback. Yeah, gross. You've been sick? Oh, yeah. I really hope you don't. You're streaming on Twitch too? That's funny because I was actually thinking about starting to stream on Twitch too. To try to get just more exposure because a lot of people watch streamers, but I don't know like what I would stream on Twitch because everything I stream on Twitch I would stream on here. But also, I was thinking, I would stream on Twitch and then I would just upload the Twitch streams to YouTube. I could do it that way. Or there might be just specific games I choose to do on Twitch. I'm not sure. How are you doing it? Give me tips, or at least tell me what you're doing. I need ideas. I guess I was still sleeping after all. Pinch me. Smick! Order! Ouch! So there was a missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix Wright. I hardly see that as much as a problem. Yeah, not much of a problem at all. Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes, and there was a phone right next to it. Why then did you not report the accident? Yes, witness, why didn't you? Were you there simply to watch the bridge burn? And therein lies the problem. For even after the bridge had burnt out, he was still there. Staring into space, this witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty. That's what it sounds like. Ah, but this is Larry we're talking about. Even he is incapable of being so stupid. Which means there has to be a reason for his inaction. Edgy. I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude. Just as I thought, you've been playing with us this whole time. Listen, I'm gonna tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all? Yes. Let me really say it this time. Everything. Ow! Then say it. Smick! Oh, very well. I have a terribly bad feeling about this. However, let's have the witness finally give us the whole truth. Now, for this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness? I'm a dono, so I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipped up into a frenzy of art. The shock and awe that I was feeling, I transferred it all directly to the page. Before I realized it, the flames had gone out, and then he came running up. I suppose artists can be strange folk. That's right! I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch. Including the truth from the sound of it. Mr. Edgeworth, has this removed the last of your doubts? Not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains. Ooh, and what would that be? This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. So, why did he think he needed to hide it from us until now? I intend to drag the reason out of him. You'll regret this, Edgy. I'm a donor. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Tell us, Larry. My name is Larice. Get it right. Mistakes like that are what keep you from being popular with the ladies like I am. Just who exactly are you? I'm Larice Donham, apprentice extraordinaire. That's what he calls himself in any case. But then you are an artist? Of course, I'm an artist, the real thing. Yet again, that's what he calls himself. Names mean nothing. There is only one issue that I care to discuss. What were you doing? That's a very big issue indeed. Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipped up into a frenzy of art. Sketching. The burning bridge. The burning bridge and everything that came with it. What came with it? You want to hear this from my lips, so do you, Edgy? Oh, you'll regret this. That sketch of mine is out! Enough! Just take that ridiculous sketch of yours out already, witness. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean! That does indeed to be the fastest solution, eh? I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edgeworth. What should I do? I've got a terrible feeling that the instant the sketch is revealed, the entire world may be changed by what is depicted there. Oh no, this is not going to be good. Larry, I wonder if you could show us your sketch, please. Well, even I couldn't have imagined it turned out like this. Imagine what? That Larice Donham's debut would take place here, today, like this. Ow, 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 ow. Show it, now. Okay, but steel yourselves. This is the world of Larice Donham. Well, so this is Dusky Bridge, correct? Quite a large bridge, isn't it? You're responsible, Von Karma. Yes, well, it's a better drawing than I expected. Isn't it? Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames. I really did. Yes, I'm sure you did. This is going to get ugly. No one has the courage to even bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Larry? What? The burning bridge is fine, but what is that unfortunate-looking figure? Ah, you spotted that? I thought you might. However much I want to ignore it, I can't. It's Iris, of course! Iris! I wish she'd take better care of herself. We have to plan around the future, you know. But what would have happened to her if she had injured herself flying like that? Larry, please, answer this next question honestly. Okay. Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant? Flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames? Yep, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist, a real artist. Are you high? This girl, she's really high up in this picture. Ooh, what was that for? This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you in the cheek to test that theory. Please whip your own cheek from now on if you wish to test your wild theories. Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that people can fly. Actually, there is some precedent for this. She was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. She was about 30 feet above the bridge, at least. It was really something to see. This has to be some kind of mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring the witness back down to earth. What? Me? This witness is your friend, is he not? Accessory to foolishness, Miles Edgeworth. Smick! Let us get back to the cross-examination. By force if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose the obvious contradiction here. Yes, Your Honor. Give me this moron. Well, what do you think of my debut piece? Get that thing away from me! Horrible sketch when he saw the night of the crime. Now hurry up and cross-examine him! Oh boy. Her white hood was fluttering. Aw, she didn't have it. She gave it to Phoenix. Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care. In your position, that's just being irresponsible. I drew exactly what I saw. I'll give you the whole dollar. I'll give you a whole dollar. It's the truth. If that is truly the case, then there is one thing that we can say for certain. What may that be? That the person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant Iris. What do you mean? I don't understand. Yow! A foolhardy foolish of a foolish statement by an equally foolishly foolhardy fool. How exactly can you make this claim? Tell us, Larry. According to this picture, the individual whom you say was saw wearing a hood, correct? Yes. Of course he was. That rundown shack is quite a way from the bridge. The hood is what told me that this floating angel was my Iris. The hood is my darling Iris. The Iris is my darling hood. Wow! It seems there are bigger fools in this world than the one at the defense's bench. Larry, there's something that you need to be aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris was not wearing a hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps suggest it was Wright that took flight? What are you talking about? I think you understand what I mean just fine. Why? Why did Nick have Iris' hood? What? Edgy, what's going on with Iris and Nick? Why you, Nick, you dog? Yeah, I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited and discarded straight into the garbage. Ow! What is it now, witness? It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Edgy, today's the day I get to completely stupefy you. What? What is the meaning of your outburst, witness? I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence. Definitive evidence? Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge, and I, Louise Stoneham, shall prove it. Smick! I didn't expect to ask this again, but we shall be needing your testimony once again. Tell us anything you know about concerning the defendant as depicted in the sketch. Show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality. Okay, I hope you're ready, Edgy, because I'm gonna feed you a whopping serving of pain. You've been serving us a whopping serving of pain this whole time. Trust me. Proof that Iris flew. When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere, half buried in snow. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. A crystal sphere? This one. Yeah, pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers. That sphere, where did you find it? Let me see. Around here somewhere? Looks about right. And it was half buried in the snow. It had pretty much stopped snowing by then. But there was still some falling as I walked to the bridge. The court accepts this crystal sphere. That's mine, okay? I want it back afterward. There's something on it. Oh my, it's blood! What? Blood? Has blood on it. You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's gonna push me around anymore. Didn't you want to be called Louise Donham only a few minutes ago? Are you stupid? Tisk, tisk, Larry. Tisk, tisk. I'm not even going to indulge him. Larry, that night, there was someone who lost a crystal sphere. There was? Who? Who was the stupid idiot? Miss Elise Donham, the mentor to a stupid idiot. The victim? I have a photo here of her here. On the end of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal sphere. Hey! That's my photograph! Give it back! Wow! A crystal sphere like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch. They look nothing alike! In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff, found at the scene of the crime. Ooh! The crystal sphere! It's gone! What? What? Smick! Just what does this mean? If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris after all. She was not wearing a hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either. That means the one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim, Miss Elise Donham? A fool alongside another fool on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it is rejected. You can't do that. I saw him. Ow! And this crystal sphere, this is nothing more than a red herring. You honestly believe that? Give it some thought, and I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Miles Edgeworth. Miss Elise Donham was in her room the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, this sphere cannot be related to the case. That is all. Miss Franziska von Karma. The only people who will accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns. Hey, why are you pointing at me? The victim's crystal sphere was found near the bridge on the very night of her murder. Yet you expect us to believe that this had nothing to do with the case. That crystal sphere, it was probably thrown away on the bridge after the murder. After the murder? There is blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent, which is the exact same reason that he drew that ridiculous sketch. What? You mean I'm the killer? No! What? All joking aside, just when did this crystal sphere appear next to the foot of the bridge? Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe that this is related to the case. She makes a valid point. There's no evidence that Elise Donham left Hazakura Temple that night. However, if somehow this crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to be transformed into something else entirely. Smick! Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal sphere. If it's not related to the case, then this witness you called will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time. Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth. Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place? Yes, I can. Can I prove it? That isn't the issue. To simply prove it. That's the only option. That's what he'd do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving this case. You'll do what? That look in your eye, you remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered. That should come as no surprise, because right now I am Phoenix Wright and I am indeed cornered. Smick! I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. If it instead proves that the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder. This crystal sphere, it was half buried in the snow, correct? That's right. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. The snow would have totally covered it. That's all I needed to hear from you, Larry. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear. What? When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing, even if it were ever so slightly. Snowing. On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there's no snow on the victim's body. Oh? Therefore, the crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder. Before the murder! Smack, smack, smack! Order! 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 On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge, and there, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal sphere to come loose. What could that have been? The sphere? There is some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge. Murder didn't take place in the Hazakura Temple courtyard? Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness. Just who is the fool? And which part is so foolish, Miss Von Karma? Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeworth? The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. That's not exactly true now, is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body. That's the same thing! No, it isn't. You said it yourself. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from the body, that would be when the blade is removed. If that statement is the truth, then Dusky Bridge would have very easily been the scene of a murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding. You are forgetting one final thing, Miles Edgeworth. At least Dono's body was found in Hazakura Temple. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. You mean to suggest that someone carried the body all the way? I've made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. I just need to prove that my version of the events is absolutely plausible. Smack! Now, if the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation. Please show us the method by which the victim's body was carried to Hazakura Temple. Well, I'll do you one better. On that snowy night, there is one way that a body could have been removed. The snowmobile. As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could have also been used to carry a body. Smack, smack, smack! Order! Order, order! Oh! This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth. You dug yourself into your own grave. What do you mean? So the one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moved the body. Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin? You're too late, Franziska von Kammer. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation. What? Where was the victim, at least Dona, really killed? If her body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what does this image mean? Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature would never see the truth, let alone describe it. This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl from whom he is enamored. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. The defense stands firm to this point. Edgy! Thank you! Smack! That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances. Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It is just as I thought. Franziska von Karman, you make a wonderful partner. Excuse me? There was one reason and one reason alone for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case, and then pass it along to Wright. Really? That's what this was all about? You could have just told me that from the very beginning. Then I would have had a frenzy whipping me all out. Miles Edgeworth. I don't care about what you were here to do. This was my chance to finally grind you under my heel. A shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by. What a shame. This is all your fault. Such a terrible witness. You are an affront to all the legal systems stand for. Oh, ow, it what? I demand satisfaction. Smack! Well, I cannot believe that the witness testimony relates to the actual event. However, there has been some sort of answer for the question it raises. Have his words here today been truth or lies? Next time we gather in the courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. I am counting on a thorough investigations by both the defense and the prosecution. And with this, the rest is up to you, Wright. Court is now adjourned! Oh, snap. Okay. The real reason I was doing this is because I actually purchased Persona by myself. I was waiting for it to finish downloading. And it did. So, that's all I was doing this for. So, that's the end of the Phoenix Wright stream. And no one else is even watching. So, thank you guys for watching this in the future. And I will see you guys in the next episode.